backyard of the house is what Kim fell in love with when she bought it. She actually came up from Florida with the kids, and I was still down there. I pretty much let her pick it out. She Facebook messaged me all the pictures, and she's like, I really love this backyard. This is the one I think I want. That'll be a completely different Chronicles. But I'm on my bucket. I'm on my baseball bucket. So this is me. Like I'm out coaching. I'm on my bucket. Coach of the Mapleton Braves. But we had baseball, football, basketball. We'd be going, and pink became a thing. See these laces? Pink became a thing way before pink was a thing. But with us, when we were football, you know, that's a football thing. Every year in October, I mean, Chris was 6, so this was 10 plus years ago when this started. So way before cancer. But yeah, it started, and my boy Coach Mac, my brother, he would always be like, Coach, you serious about this pink? Because I'd have to make sure everybody had pink laces, pink socks, pink thing you put over your cleats. Wow, I'm having a mind blank. But anything I could come up with pink, and it just became a thing. And I look at some of my posts now. I realize I started wearing. I don't have it with me. I can go in the house and get it when I get back. But yeah, so I don't have it, but I have a Nike, typically Nike, sometimes Under Armour. Anytime I'm having anything athletic. These are my new wristbands. Cameron's travel team he's on now. They've honored Kim 2 different times since they started playing again. But it made me think of a story. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so this is the bucket. Let's go back to that. The bucket. And they would call me the Black Bobby Cox. I sit on my bucket and be directing everybody. And I never forget a couple of things. I had a staff of like 7, 8 parents. So it's all us. For us, by us. It's all us 7 black dads out there coaching these kids. And we had the best rec team in the metro. We still claim it to this day. We were 13-4, and only three of our losses were the travel teams. So we still wear that banner. And I used to get joked because I'd be the guy. We're like, oh, you the coach think you bad enough to put your rec team in a travel tournament. I said, yeah. And sometimes we would get drugged, but we had a bunch of athletes, moving them all around, playing basketball, football, baseball. That was the only sport that any of them could beat us in. And and they know it. We'd get killed, and I'd have coaches coming over to me after the game asking me about my players. That lets you know. And I call them my nephews. I go see them all the time. They playing their different sports. Actually, I've had the chance to call a couple basketball games, and I'm on the mic repping harder for an away player than some of my own. But it's just, hey, I call it Uncle Rye, Coach Rye, whatever you want to call me. But that takes me to the story. So Academy Sports. This was December 24th, 2019. I've never told anybody this story. I may have told one person this story. If you knew this story before, ping me and let me know if you're the person I told this. But I don't think I ever told anybody this story. I never told Kim this story. But it was December 24th, 2019. I was in Academy Sports doing my Santa Claus thing, trying to find last minute gifts. And we didn't know it was going to be our last Christmas. But you know, Kim had an uphill battle. So she wanted a fire pit. She wanted a good fire pit, but the day before Christmas, I can't build one and really do a good one, right? So I was in Academy Sports buying one. And I went through, found the one I wanted, and I went up to I went up to the cash register, and I'm up there ready to get it. And this lady comes behind me, and she comes in line, and it's Christmas, everybody's festive, so some people get a little too comfortable, right? This was before Corona. Well, Corona was coming in, but nobody knew. This was before Corona was Corona, so nobody was masked up. Nobody cared. Obviously, a lot of people didn't take it seriously. That's a different thing, but it was before we were social distancing and everybody was concerned. But the lady was getting close to me. She kept getting close to me. And now let me put this into context. The lady didn't look like me, all right? Read between the lines. I don't have to say that. The lady didn't look like me or Kim. She was of a completely different complexion. All right, I got to give you context in my story, so because it added to my confusion. So she kept getting closer, and every time I move up, she kept getting closer. And I was like, is she trying to read the box? Is she trying to what is she trying to do? Is she trying to read my she's trying to read the numbers on my card, on my Amex? I just didn't know. And she started asking me questions. What are you getting? Who's that for? Blah, 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 blah. And so I said, this is for my wife. She always wanted a fire pit. Yada, yada, yada. So she starts talking to me. And I think I started understanding what she was trying to do. So she started talking to me. And she said, I'm going through, me and my husband either have been going through it for 14 years or we had gone through it for 14 years. We're finally out. We were married 14 years and we had a rough patch and we're finally out. But she was talking to me about her success story, about how they got together and they had some issues and now they worked it out. And I don't know what made her come to me, but I guess she just wanted to share her testimony with somebody. Maybe in this Christmas time and this festive time, she could make somebody else feel better, and maybe give somebody else a pep talk. So she's telling me this, and I can't remember the direct questions, but she was asking stuff that almost made me think like she was asking me questions about my relationship. And again, she's still on my back so much. I appreciated what she was trying to do, and I had made some conversation with her, but I didn't, we talked about it, and she said something, and she said something that made me say this. I said, enjoy the time you have. My wife has stage 4 breast cancer, and she fights for her life every day. And she paused, and she said, excuse me, because I think I lost her when I said stage 4 breast cancer. Because somehow I think we ended up realizing we were in the same age range. And so I repeated what I said. And by that time, the people were giving me back my card. So I'm taking my card, I'm grabbing this big thing, and I walk out to the car. And I'm standing with my trunk open. I'm putting the fire pit into the back of the car, and I look up, and the picture I posted right there, that's about where I was. I went to the academy and took that picture. That's about where I was when I was there. And I turned around and I looked up and I see this lady running to me. And I'm sitting there like, all right now, this got creepy. Like, I know I'm a lot of chocolate, but you gotta let me go. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to do. And she ran up to me, and as she got closer, I could see it. Her face was wet. This lady was boo-hoo crying. And she handed me these two bags. And she, I can't remember what she said, but she said she wanted to bless me, and she had something, and she was crying so hard she could barely get it out, and she gave it to me, said what she had to do, and she walked away. I can't remember if she hugged me. Like I said, it was pre-corona. She might have hugged me or whatever, but it says, because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Matthew chapter 17, the 20th verse. Man, I don't know why that lady was in my line. I don't know why that lady came and talked to me. But it was interesting how that worked. I keep these two bags. I keep this one on my desk in the house. I keep this one in the car. If you look at these bags are battered. They sit in the same spot. But if you look at this one, it's open. And this one's open. I put tape on it. But they just open up, and the turnip seeds, they're in there. They're usually more, and they keep leaking out. And I don't know who makes these bags, and I don't know if somebody makes these bags. But I came to the opinion that, at least for me, something about these bags opening was almost had something to do with my faith and losing my faith. And the turnip seeds, they would come out in the car, and every time I see some out, I would grab them and put them back in, put them back in, put them back in. And this one I just got tired of fighting with. I put the tape on it, and this one I just let go. It's turnip seeds in the car that I got to put back in here because I try to keep this. But I never lost faith. No matter what happened with what we had going on, Kim got her heart broken so many times by doctors telling her, you know, people with what she had don't live long. I would never give up. I would never give up faith. And they would say, you know, 3 to 6 years or whatever. And I would always count my time from the day they said it. So I was like, we got 3 to 6 more years. We got 3 to 6 more years. And after a while, I realized after you've heard that 3 years, at some point you had to go back and say, when did that 3 to 6 years start? But I never would give faith. I never would give up hope that there was something there. But yeah, it rocked me. That lady gave me something, and I think she came there trying to bless somebody else, and she got a blessing herself. But I think we did something for each other. But you know, as I wind down with the Chronicles, I realized a while ago that all the good stuff and all the stuff people say doesn't matter. I appreciate it, but I realized after a while that the only thing that was gonna make me better was that was Kim walking back through that door, and that's not gonna happen, right? Yeah, at least at this point. So I keep, truthfully, I don't touch her things. I don't touch her side of the bed. I don't touch anything. And I guess eventually I'm gonna have to go through everything and do all that. I'm an open book now. It's my true fans are watching now. But yeah, it is what it is. Y'all be good. Time for the outtake. A Marvel story never ends. So, man, I said a lot of things. You tell a good story, you got to take people's minds a certain place and then try to get them there so you can set them up and take them somewhere else. But when I opened this up, I started talking about our backyard. I made some references to Mableton that people wouldn't resonate with everybody. I also said that I never told Kim this story. Now y'all didn't think I would tell y'all this story without telling Kim first. Y'all see it. Y'all see it.